Yeah, it's IFL mid-season review. We're minutes away from the Week 12 sim. Um, Let me just share my screen. But I'm here with Joe, Rylan, and Tucson. You guys got my screen coming through?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I thought we could just start with the current standings. Um, yeah, 11 weeks played. Everyone's had their bye by now, it looks like. What catches your eyes, guys? Yeah, what jumps out of you for the way the league is shaping up as we get to the point where the playoffs are in sight for a lot of teams now?
Couple of things. First of all, Calgary was a lie. Somebody told me that they were going to suck this year.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't know
better than
who.
I
Who?
thought.
Who?
Yeah.
I don't know who that might have been, but somebody. Um, then Pittsburgh leading the North right now. That
Yeah.
one actually really surprises me. They went on. They just had like a 4 or 5 game win streak that they just broke. But yeah,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has gotten out to a hot start. Has played well.
Yeah.
And
So
That
they're
that's
surprises me.
that's after hemorrhaging. Someone help me with that word.
Hemorrhaging.
That one. A bunch of talent in free agency.
Yeah, I did notice in the game logs there were a couple old Madison players. I'm like, man, is he just taking the players that I choose not to sign?
well, that definitely can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of ex-Vancouvers on my roster.
No, and at least one of them was a good cornerback that I had to let go for cap reasons.
They had probably had good space after not re-signing their own players.
Mm-hmm.
True enough. Yeah, that's I mean, you've played them a couple of times, or what, at least once, I guess. Tucson, right?
Twice. Twice I
Twice you
split
played them.
yeah,
Right,
split
you
the
played them
series.
in week one and then probably around week 7 or 8 as well, I suppose, for the
Week
rematch.
10.
Week 10. Okay. What's what type of team are they then?
Um, he's kind of got a pretty balanced attack. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think in the first game it was, yeah, he had over 100 yards rushing, and his passing was like I shut him down in the passing game, which led to me beating him. But in the second game, he had a lot better, well, only 200 yards passing or so, a lot less rushing yards, but I think he also got some turnovers in his favor.
He must be getting turnovers because he's +5. And he
Hmm.
doesn't he doesn't have the points for and against of a 7-3 team.
No.
No, no, a bit of luck in there as well, for sure.
Oh, and then he had a punt return touchdown as well against me,
Yeah,
which always helps.
yeah, yeah. But nice. It's a nice turnaround by them, at least.
Yeah.
What about your division, Joe? That's it's a bit of a knife fight in there, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think any of us are very good. And so it's just a battle of mediocrity right now.
But
Because you
hey,
you you
anybody can win it.
I mean, San
yeah,
Antonio started out looking okay. They've lost 6 in a row.
Yeah.
They have rookie QB.
yeah. They got that 1-1 guy, haven't they? That we looked at last
Yes.
time. Yeah, and South is kind of turning McAllen around a bit after a bad start. He switched out his quarterback for that Dilday guy that he took in the first round a few seasons ago, and he's on a 4-game win streak now.
He played quite well against me last week.
Hmm. He played well when I played him as well. That was a very close game. I think that was the last game he lost, actually.
Can we have a look at Dilday?
Yeah, we can have a look at Dilday. So he came up. He came up when we were doing the sort of draft review last time, because he's a guy. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he took him in the first year 2 seasons ago, and then basically hadn't played him. And you can see he's 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 94.1 QBR, 726 average per attempt. It's all respectable enough numbers for a guy with a lot of green still as well.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
Yeah. So he's definitely riding him. I got some. Yeah, we can have a look a little bit later at perhaps a little bit of some other, let's say, analytics about some of these teams. But this guy Dilday is rating pretty high amongst the quarterbacks of the league right now.
And it'll be
So
interesting to see what his ratings are going to be at the end of the season.
yeah, so whether he's just on like a hot, he's a hot hand or whatever. It says he started 7 games. Yeah, I guess he probably has started 7 games by now. Yeah.
The affinities have got to be helping him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're really strong, aren't they? Across the board. I mean, just looking at, I like the profile of him, to be honest. Like, which bars are big. That's apart from the scramble, maybe I think he looks good.
And I'd like the short passing bar to be a little better, but still respectable enough.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is maybe a guy that, that kind of profile, perhaps a little bit more typical of a team that runs the ball quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And is looking to make his money on third downs. Yeah, but yeah, I think he can play this guy, and he's proving it so far this season. What about the other side then, the AC?
I mean, for me, it should never come as a surprise that Road is doing well, but
Nope.
I am pretty impressed that he's doing this well while not playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I play him just after he gets back. So
he's back now, I think.
Yeah, but I play him in like not this game, but the next one after that, I think.
Yeah, because I just got a Discord message from him this morning, I think.
Okay, and if he's on Discord, that probably means he's in Europe again.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's doing well, but his division is apart, aside from Norfolk, who are propping things up in a big way. So his division, the East and the West, the second and third place teams also look strong, don't they? So what about Portland? I mean, Portland they've just actually lost a game. They went 9-0 to start the season, including some solid in-division wins, and they've scored a lot of points. And their defense is respectable, it looks like.
Quite good, I would say.
Yeah.
I suppose they were the hottest team until Calgary won their 9th in a row.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they must have been. Yeah. Yeah, and elsewhere, okay, the Mules, 7-3. They've had a tight grip on that division for quite a long time now. And Lannister continues to get the job done in Iowa as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Looks like the best team in that division.
Yeah, he does. So let's maybe let's have a little look at what let's say the current situation around the playoffs is. So on the right side, I just pulled the playoff probabilities after week 11, just straight out of the game here on the right side, and then this kind of not very well optimized spreadsheet. Let me just make this a little bit easier to look at, perhaps. Shows us for all the teams. Streak is they have, for how many seasons consecutively have they made the playoffs? And if they're not on a streak, then when was the last time that they made the playoffs? There's a few. Well, I guess we should start with Vegas, right? Because they're on the longest streak of making the playoffs. 24 seasons in a row since they last failed to get to the postseason. That's the best of any team in the league at the moment. And they are in game 34% likely to make the playoffs this year.
Which feels low to me, given
Yeah,
that they're tied for the best record as a wild card, right?
yep. And they right now they're in the plus side of the tiebreaker where they would make it in if the season were to end today. So the game must not
Yeah.
like their matchups in the remaining 6 games they have. Which, I mean, yeah, they got West Virginia, and Portland, and McAllen. But they also play Georgia, who I think is a little bit weaker. They have LA, which should be a win, and then San Antonio as well. So, I mean, you figure they're pretty easily could be 10-6 by the end of the season.
Yeah. And I think actually their underlying numbers are pretty good as well. Like they're we'll have a look in a little bit, but they're the best team on third downs by miles. And I think let's have a quick look. Yeah, I mean, their point split is actually, it is a 6-4 type record, isn't it? It's just not that great compared to perhaps the other teams in their division there. Yeah, I think that number's probably quite volatile, and there's still quite a few games to play, right? So, for example, if you look actually at the NC, you can see Calgary is 73% likely to be the number 1 seed. Well, if Vancouver wins one more game, that's going to flip, right? If Vancouver wins one more game than Calgary over the rest of the season, they will take the 73% so there would be a 50-point swing on one game potentially, right? So that's what I mean about when you're this far out, those numbers perhaps quite can change a lot.
It'd be 2 games, right?
No, because we're both 9-1. So if I
Right,
lost the game, if I lose the next game and you win, you will
that's
be
2 games.
Okay, yeah, in that sense, yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about the results of 1 week.
Yeah,
could change
that is
it.
actually a better way. Yeah,
but yes,
and there's no guarantee that I'm going to win 6 more games. I don't expect to win 6 more games, basically.
Well, I joined this chat expecting you to guarantee you would win 6 more games.
Yeah, I have a couple of tricky opponents coming up, actually.
I think it might come down to how we do against Road.
Yeah.
Because we both have to play him, and if one of us happens to beat him and the other one doesn't, that could flip it.
Yeah, so I mean that's a game that I could quite easily see Calgary losing because I'm relatively. Yeah, Vancouver could lose that game as well. That is for sure. But
hey man, how do you know Johnny Peel's not going to have a heroic effort against him?
Well, he might, and I hope he does. Yeah, but yeah, I mean that kind of 50-point differential between Calgary and Vancouver with 6 games to play. They both have 9 wins. It shows you it's a little bit ridiculous, right? It's not a true representation of the odds, I would say.
No, and I think basically right now, until you get down to probably like the last 3 games, the upper part of the playoff probabilities is very volatile. Right now at like 10 games in, what it does a better job of showing you the teams that don't have a chance of making the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. So what do we think? Vegas going to be in, or or is their streak going to come to an end?
I think they make it.
I think they make it.
I'll be contrarian and say he misses.
Okay.
I think he's going to get to 10 wins for sure. I think if he gets to 11, then he'll get in.
I think 10's going to be
Yes.
enough to get in.
Let's have a look again. So 10 and 6 is a number where you definitely can miss out, isn't it?
Yes.
11. Well, I have actually missed the playoffs on 11
I
wins.
was going to say we have had an 11-win team miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
I remember because I was part of that shenanigans.
Yeah. It has happened to me for sure.
I mean, Tom's got a really tough schedule. He's got 5
Oh
road
yeah,
games,
he's on the road all the time, isn't he? Yeah.
and his only home game is against Joe.
Yeah, that is quite nasty. So he's got
Hartford
a hot.
And a big game for him is that at Hartford, who is also in the playoff hunt and tied
Hart-
record wise.
For sure.
Hartford's
for sure.
not going to make it. Hartford's
Yeah, I
out.
don't think Hartford will.
Hartford is
Vegas
at
has already
Calgary.
beat Portland.
No, Hartford's not making it.
Yeah, I think Vegas makes it. I think they do it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I got to look at those probabilities again. Like, who do they have above him?
Everyone.
They think Hartford's going to do it. There's no way.
No.
How does it actually work? Does it basically
And they
sims?
really like Columbia too, because Columbia is also at that 6-4 right now, and they're out of the playoffs currently.
Yeah, they like them
Well-
for fifth seed, don't they?
I mean, Columbia is going to get 10 wins at least.
Let's have a look at them. Columbia. Well, they've got some winnable games.
Yep. Yeah, Ryland's right. They're going to get to 10 wins. You figure Miami, Colorado, Salt Lake, and Hartford.
Well, Hartford could be a shootout between them.
I don't think so. Look at their points for and against. One of them is good, and the other one is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that basis, yes.
I mean, look at that.
Hartford's division record is not that good either. What is separating us, by the way? Strength of schedule?
What do you mean, you and I?
Yeah. Or is it our head-to-head game?
Oh, didn't I beat you?
Well, you beat me in week 1 and I beat you in the return.
Oh, okay, then
Yep. Same conference, same division.
Joe, you're the playoff tiebreaker expert. What's putting a? Are you probably simming this second? But I always go to you when I want to know playoff tiebreakers.
Well, head to head is first.
Well, we're
Are we
tied
talking about
there.
division or
Tied.
conference?
Division and
They're-
conference are tied.
Division. I'm talking about division.
Yeah, okay. So divisional record be next, and then conference record, and then after that, common games.
Okay.
Common games. Ah.
Well, we've each lost to each other once. That's the common.
Yep, that's the common loss.
Every other game would be the same. So I have no idea what's putting you in front of me, but it's whatever it is. It's demonstratively important.
Alphabetical order.
77% to get there, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Alphabetical order. That's what it is.
It might be
They
points
just
scored
know
after
you're
that.
better. I don't know.
So it's I'm
Okay,
maybe
if
I'm
it's
maybe
points
top
scored,
one
that's
on points.
hilarious.
Then it's 1 point difference
1
too.
point. And that's 50. That's a 50% swing on how the playoff rankings is going to work out.
How hilarious would it be? Like end of the season, the number 1 seed is decided by 1 point scored.
1 point. Yeah, yeah. It's a shame that's not going to last up until week 17. Let's have a look at who else we got here. So Vancouver, you're the second place streak. You will, if you make it this year, you'll be 20 seasons on a row. And Murfreesboro is the other
I mean,
The
the
other
four
team on a
top
long run.
streaks, the four top streaks are all going to survive.
Yeah. Yeah, Vancouver and Calgary are basically in. Murfreesboro is basically in.
Do we see anybody making it for the first time in a little while?
Um,
Maybe
Yeah,
someone in
so
Joe's division?
well, they could.
yeah,
So
Pittsburgh, maybe?
there could be two in Tucson's division because Horsestooth
Yep.
could make it too.
Yep.
They're over 50% on the simulation here.
yeah, they're a game behind Pittsburgh,
They're a
both
game
Horsetooth
behind.
and Dakota.
But both of those teams, well, Horsetooth actually is it's not, Horsetooth is 8 seasons since they've been there, so that's, I guess,
Little while.
fairly long, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
compared to most of
Sim
the
is
other
done, by the
teams
way.
here.
Sorry to interrupt. The sim is done.
The sim is done. Okay,
Should we get
So-
updated playoff odds?
yeah, let's do that. All right.
Were there any big games that you guys know of this week?
Oh, no.
I believe I played Calgary.
No.
Did
No,
Javier
you-
get injured? What are you doing?
Okay,
I beat Raleigh.
I beat Hartford 14-13. Okay, let's get those updated.
Sorry, I'm
playoff
just unhappy
probabilities.
about my win.
The draft killing win.
Yep.
Right.
Hey, you moved your playoff chances up like 600%.
Unquantifiable because
I'm
I
actually-
was less than
locked it.
0.1%.
I'm in.
Locked it.
I locked it. Okay, let's copy this on top of the other document there. Yeah. All right. Just use this one a second.
Oh,
Okay,
we
here we
had
go.
another sub 200-yard game from Javier Heath.
Oof.
Coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
Vegas jumped to 57%. Hartford dropped to 32.
Mm,
Ooh, Alaska must have lost. They dropped to 16%.
That'd have to be a loss.
let's have a look.
Did they lose to Vegas or something?
Because
That's
they
a
were in
big
pole
swing.
position.
Oh, see? Southeast McAllen.
They lost to McAllen.
Colorado beat Norfolk. Georgia lost to Vegas. Hartford very close to beating Calgary by the looks of things. Horseshoes won.
Yep, they're now
Iowa
leading the
won.
division.
Yeah. Texas actually is an interesting team. They won. Murfreesboro won. Yeah, that's going to hurt Dakota's chances. London, Orlando. Pittsburgh lost again. They're sliding, actually.
Yep.
Okay, Portland,
One score
They-
game beats Tijuana.
they beat Joe. They got 10 wins. Vancouver tied.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Tied at Columbia.
Been a while since I had a tie.
Yeah, it is pretty rare. Okay, Los Angeles beat San Antonio. Boston beat State College. Okay, and then Road won against Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City in another low-scoring game. Their defense is good. They just can't score. So Kansas is strongly placed, actually, and they were in the previous version of this table as well. So let's have a quick look at them.
They actually just lost.
They just did
And
they just
Texas
lose?
won. Yeah, Kansas City lost and Texas won.
Okay, but okay, so yeah, they did lose. That's right. They're legit defense, actually,
Mhm.
Kansas. Before this week, they were the best defense by points against. They still are. And they have a very good pass rush as well. So they would be an interesting team to get in. I always like it when a strong defensive team gets in because they present a kind of unique challenge. Kansas is Jazik, right?
I think so.
I mean, they're not an offensive juggernaut, but they're not bad offensively either.
No, they're not.
I think they're still like top 10 in the league for points for.
Vancouver would have gone top if they'd won that game on points for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's starting to shake up. So now that's week 12. Let's just let's have a quick look at these probabilities again then. Because there are actually some teams that are okay, so Calgary is in, and we can say anyone over 95% is in, right? West Virginia, Murfreesboro, Portland, they're basically in. Vancouver is in. Horsetooth, Kansas City, McAllen, Iowa, Columbia, strong. Yeah, and then sort of all to play for that like sixth position, it looks like. All right, but that's yeah, first time we've had a live sim update, I think, on one of these things.
Looking at
All right.
the other side of the table,
Hmm.
Salt Lake City and Norfolk both 1-10. They play each other in week 14 for the first pick in the draft, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's because Boston just won today to get to their second win.
Yeah. So Salt Lake City are the team that they traded their QB, didn't they? They had that vet.
Well, they traded their QB. They traded out of the position to draft the QB.
Yeah. So they could do with that number one pick, couldn't they? Probably. Who's actually playing for them as quarterback this year? Jimmy Briggs.
Doesn't look half bad.
No.
No. Looks decent. Potentially.
That's a nice free agent pickup.
Yeah. Pretty cheap. Chemistry guy. So I'm gonna. Okay, now I have to check whether they're actually investing a bit in chemistry.
A little bit.
I would say that is more than coincidence. Looks good. Okay, so yeah, I was thinking about showing some sort of analytic stuff I've been working on, but maybe no, let's do that, and then we can sort of tie it into whether there's any players who have caught you guys' eyes, yeah, during this season, any sort of standout performers. But I think some of the analytics stuff I was going to show might also give us a little bit of give us a little bit of a way into talking about some of that stuff. Yeah, so you guys know that because I've been sharing some stuff that I've been working on, like a sort of EPA expected points engine to that can analyze FOF games, which is based on the content of the logs. and yeah, give us a sort of extra layer of sort of analytical tools that people are used to from watching the NFL on TV or from, consuming different kinds of media about the real game of football, but which is sort of natively missing from this version, at least this version of the game. I've never seen whether it's in FOF 9 or not. So I thought I'd share like a little bit of like team level info. So this is the first one. So this is a scatter graph which sort of tries to show which teams are performing well on defense, on offense, or both, or neither. Right. So the higher you are on the y-axis, the better your defensive expected points performance is. And defensive expected points is basically stopping the offense from playing or converting critical downs and stuff like that. And the higher you are on the x-axis is a team's expected points per offensive play, basically. So the further you are along this line, the more effective a team's offense is. So we can sort of instantly see that the most effective offense in the game in terms of expected points right now this season, or before the Week 12 sim, is the West Virginia Beasts, and
by a wide margin.
By a wide margin, and by a similarly wide margin, Kansas City is the best defense. And we were looking at them just before as Jay's team. And this matches up against the fact that they have the least points against. This matches up well against the fact that West Virginia has the most points for.
I'm not mathematically inclined, but given that the numbers for offensive EPA and defensive EPA are not on the same ratio, doesn't that mean that West Virginia is that much better on offense than everybody else?
Yes, in that sense, it does. The scale here is just to fit everybody onto a reasonable sized visualization, basically. But that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like twice as good as the second best team.
Yeah, they're quite far ahead in terms of expected points. It's important to recognize that expected points is just an estimation of how many points you're likely to score based on the sort of offensive situations you find yourself in, right? So you can have a game where your expected points is higher than the opponent. You can still lose. You can lose heavily because expected points is not points, right?
Yeah. And
it looks like most people are in the good offense, bad defense category.
Yeah, it's so the league average. Well, yeah, so league average is negative EPA, slightly. League average offense is slightly positive. It's the dotted lines, right?
Yeah,
which I think makes sense. The defense versus offensive game planning is has some certain layers of where it's just not as easy. Like, for example, the medium passing thing that got brought up not too long ago that we've already discussed before, of where it's like we don't have any sort of idea of what's really good against medium passing because it's not listed there.
Yeah, there was a big chat, wasn't there, in the general Discord this week? I actually only noticed it today on that topic, for example, right? Some of the black box elements of the game, especially on the defensive side.
And then I think also, more owners focus on like got to build a good offense. Defense comes as more of a secondary thing.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you how much effort I put into defense this year, which is like 0.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I'm playing the same defense I played in a bowl game last year against everyone. So there is probably some effort factor as well. Yeah, but this chart actually shows it's quite rare to be good at both, right? Again, this was not week 12, it's up to week 11. But Horsetooth, Columbia, Murfreesboro, and Portland, all teams with good records, but they're the only ones who are net positive in both on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, that's a little bit surprising, especially, I don't know, I guess maybe given that Horsetooth and Columbia haven't looked like world beaters.
No.
Yeah, Horsetooth is close
Yeah.
to 0 on both, right?
Yeah, Portland makes sense as far as like you take a look at their record, and
Yeah.
the stats and everything. Portland makes a lot of sense on there, but the other ones
And
maybe not.
Murfreesboro
Well,
is,
Murfreesboro it makes sense too. They don't have quite as many wins, but he's always got a good team. Yeah.
I would say both of those two are contenders.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's have a look at something else then. So based off the same data. What do I want to do here? I think I could probably just do this. Yeah. So this is passing. So this is offense only. The y-axis is EPA per run. So that's a run, a counter, or a reverse. And the x-axis is EPA per pass. So passing, play action, and scrambles. This is those guys we were looking at before as being ahead in the offense. They're good at everything. And if you look at a sort of plot like this for the real NFL, this is the Eagles, basically. Last year, this was Vancouver in this position. Otherwise, again, a lot of those teams that, yeah, so we're talking about McAllen as a coming force, right? So they're actually quite respectable here in a net positive on both as well. Okay, then Calgary, Vancouver, Murfreesboro, Columbia, these teams are all in the playoff hunt. Lannister's team is run heavy.
Madison, I feel, looking better than their record, it seems like.
Because it doesn't count turnovers.
It does count turnovers actually.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just trying to think how and whether that is actually reflected in the plotting here. No, it does count turnovers because let's say you make a pass play and you're intercepted. That would be a passing play with a negative expected points value. So that is in here. Same as a run play with a fumble, actually.
I'm surprised then because I figured turnovers would skew me back.
Well, you're close to Madison is actually close to 0, basically, right?
Yep.
So it's actually it is actually quite interesting, right? Because we said surprising that Horsetooth is here in the net positive on everything. They're really average, basically, right?
Yep.
Slightly under average on this is the league average for passing. They're slightly under. This is the league average for running. They're slightly over. Yeah.
For me, the interesting thing is with Road being where he is, because you'd figure like unless you're just dominating, a run game or a passing game, a high volume attack of one of those would kind of skew you back more towards the norm.
Yeah.
But for him being a high volume passing team, his passing being that good is really impressive.
I'm impressed that the running is working as well as it is. It's hard to pass that much and have a run game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, and
go ahead, Susan.
I was gonna say that in the EPA, it's that's more about efficiency. So like you could still have like a really effective running game even if you aren't calling a lot of plays.
Right, but he's calling more plays than you are. He's calling more plays than about eight or nine other teams. He's running more than a lot of teams. He's running as often as Calgary is.
Yeah, he has a lot. I think he has a lot of plays on offense, right?
Probably, yeah. If you stay on the field, you're gonna get a lot of plays.
Yeah, but also if you're sort of stylistically not passing that deep down the field very often, then you're also going to have longer drives too. Um, so this is the top 10 running backs by EPA up to week 11 this year. So he's got the most efficient or the highest EPA running back by a wide margin, which is this guy Kevin Orr. But he is a relatively low sample size. But it's pumping his numbers a little bit in the run game. Let's have a look at him. He's nothing special, by the way, as an individual. That's Vancouver, sorry. This is him. He's basically a whole recognition and a bit of endurance.
It's working for him.
Yeah, he's got a good line. He's got a couple absolute studs.
Yeah, let's have a quick look. Okay, yes, right. So incredibly good center. 5 seasons in, absolute prime. Okay, Erickson, it's fine. You need some cheaper guys as well. Farrell,
Fine.
fine, yeah. Okay, left tackle,
Amazing.
amazing.
Look at his run block percentage.
Yeah, 6.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, that is quite good, isn't it? Okay, and then this is the right tackle again. Basically fine. So really strong offensive line. All those guys are on their second contracts. So the cohesion is starting to be good. Yeah, and this guy is powering the run offense behind them. I actually don't know what his other running backs are doing. Let's have a quick look. So this is actually his workhorse in terms of carries.
He's probably the guy who gets the 2-minute and 4-minute drills. When Rhodes running the clock out with those big leads, he probably takes a bunch of carries.
Right. Yeah, because that can pump these numbers quite a lot actually over a season.
I mean, it'll pump the carries up. It doesn't help the average, I don't think.
No. Well. Okay, and then his third back is this guy. Yeah, he is just a limited contributor, so we don't need to look at him. It's his special teams, basically. Yeah. This guy is also a big part of the picture here, right?
Yep.
For sure.
He has for a long time been probably the best quarterback in the IFL, basically.
Guy who, if anybody's gonna do it, he's gonna break Javier Hayes' record when he gets it.
Yeah. I mean, if Rode had continued playing that all pass offense as well, he would annihilate it probably, right?
Yeah.
But theoretically, like, yeah, I think it's gonna be like I'm probably not gonna add too much to the career record. So that's sitting at like 6,800 or 68,100 yards, a little more than that.
So he could do it in 3 seasons.
Yeah, he only needs 3 more 4,000 yard seasons to break it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very doable.
Yeah, let's not dig into that. Some of his early career stats were just insane, basically. So
Yeah.
just one bowl though, so doesn't get you everything. Yeah. So where were we? Yeah, that was so. A lot of the best teams have a high performance. Oh yeah, okay. West Virginia has actually got two running backs. Look on this top ten performance here. Yeah. So they, yeah,
I mean, the EPA per carry for Orr is insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time grasping how to look at these numbers. Like 0.46 is like 50 times better than Vincent Coffey, the last guy on
yeah,
the list.
yeah,
It's 10 times better than the guy who's eighth.
yeah, yeah. So
Is
I'm
is is
pretty.
that relative like that?
I am pretty sure that the numbers are correct. But you're right. How should we? There is also a discrepancy on the sort of receiver side as well. So let's have a look at that. Um, okay, this is the top 10 tight ends. And the
You know
number
you
one
like your
tight
tight
end.
ends.
Yeah, I do. Um, we see something similar here, right? Where the number one guy is extremely far ahead of almost everybody else, basically. It is, I mean, it is certainly within the realm of possibility that there is some mistake in the mathematics that I haven't.
That's not really what I'm suggesting.
No.
Uh,
Okay.
just me trying to grasp it, how to understand these numbers. And also Jalen Foley, what you're doing with him is super impressive because he's just a route running bar.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
He's
He
actually a
has,
difficult player to use. I'll show
right,
him in a minute. Let's
like
bring
when
him
he's
up.
got zero big play, like almost no getting downfield. It doesn't look like somebody who should be
Well, he's got no endurance, so
five.
I can't use him much. That's the biggest challenge, right?
Right, but even though you can't use him that much, he still has the most cumulative EPA, right?
Yeah. So what this
So it's
tells
not
us,
just efficiency, it's also total. He's twice the total EPA of any other tight end. And all these other tight ends are getting, like Bruce Howard has 100 targets. It's twice as many.
yeah, he's the bulk guy. Yeah. So there's a few things here. So because of that endurance bar, like I say, I can't use him much, right? He can't play in 11 personnel because he's just going to get subbed out. So I only use him in sub packages, and then I only use him in sub packages to do certain things, right? So one of the reasons I can actually explain this one a little bit. So basically, Jalen Foley is a third down player, and that means that he's not getting thrown flats all the time, right? Like a kind of volume receiver might do on first down.
Hmm.
He's getting thrown deep ins and posts and stuff like that. And because his catch rate is so high, those plays are high EPA plays because he's moving. His explosive rate is really high as well, right? An
Or
explosive rate is over 15 yards gained on a passing play.
does the EPA model care what down it is when you catch the ball?
Yeah,
So catching a third down pass is more valuable than catching a first down pass.
yeah, and catching a third down pass deep is really valuable because you're changing the team's overall potential to score by quite a lot if you catch a 18-yard pass on a third down.
Okay.
Right. So that is part of what is going on here. It's specific to the usage, right? And because he's my player, I have more insight into what is potentially explaining some of this stuff, right? I'm not sure with the running back, with Rhodes running back, why he's so dominant compared to everybody else on that list. Yeah,
It's third downs. He's third in the league in third down attempts, and he's converting at a 60% rate, which is huge.
the running back we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously that's not the only thing he's good at, but he's half of his carries are on third down, and he's converting 60% of them, which is nuts.
Okay, so he's running. Okay, so he's running on like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
I have no idea,
basically. Yeah, well, I'm guessing, right? He probably he isn't converting 60% of 3rd and 12, is he? But that would
I hope
just
not.
be, well, I mean, that would just be ridiculous. Yeah, so that can be some of it, or a lot of it, definitely.
Yeah, and it's basically like based off of the formula that they have, trying to quantify the value added on the third downs, which I understand. Like, yeah, if you get a first down, you're drastically improving the chance to score on that drive because you might have had to punt or take 3.
Yeah.
But where I kind of disagree a little bit is like yardage. So like 18 yards on a first down versus 18 yards on a third down, still 18 yards. I mean,
yeah, but they both score highly as well. The edge that third down has is the difference between a punt and continuing, right?
yes, yeah.
That
Yeah, so
really
it's
makes
basically
a
just
difference.
that little factor that separates it and makes it so that the third down specialists are seeming to come out at the higher end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I think that's a valid observation for sure. Yeah, I just thought I'd pop up QBs as well. This is a bit more tightly packed, so you get less of a sort of third down specialist type vibe here, basically. Yeah,
I
I mean,
also
yeah, go
a,
ahead.
a comment that I make here too, because it was something that I alluded to before, is like, with if somebody's a high volume of a certain thing, you would expect that the EPA might go, closer to the normalized value instead of being an outlier. With quarterbacks, you're going to have a lot less of a spread as far as their usage is concerned. I mean, you have a couple of outliers there in Dilday and Gravison, but for the most part, like all those quarterbacks are throwing a lot. And it's a lot closer of a range than say you on the other ones you had somebody who had 100 targets versus 50 targets on the list, or somebody had 200 carries versus 80 carries on the list.
Yeah. So Gravison is interesting because Lewis Marsh got injured out for the season. So he's Calgary's other quarterback. And they're basally just identical.
I think it's time you got to trade Marsh with Gravison.
Yeah.
Save yourself some money.
Yeah, because exactly, because this is like a 60 million guy, and this is like a 10 million guy, basically, that picked up from free agency. So that's quite eye-opening. There is another thing, so it's also impressive that Pierce is top on the highest number of attempts and dropbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's something else here as well. So if we look at this number 7, Wade, that's your quarterback, Rylan, right?
Yeah.
And he is the biggest discrepancy between his passing attempts, and dropbacks. So this is basically passes and play actions plus scrambles. So he's got 61 scrambles in this number.
Is that right?
That is right.
Okay.
Well, I think that is right. If you take out his scrambles,
He sucks.
Yeah, he kind of sucks. No, he doesn't suck. He doesn't suck. He's actually Lewis Marsh that can scramble. is actually the reality with him. So his scrambling is a significant boost to his performance. It's the same with Bergman. That's yours, Joe. His scrambling, like, is still, even though he's an old guy, his scrambling is really impressive
Looks
in
like
terms
Cook's
of
doing
how
some
aggressive he
scrambling
is.
too.
And
Yeah.
Cook, yeah. So
Need to show this to
this is Vegas. Is Cook is Vegas, right?
He complains that his quarterback sucks all
Yeah,
the
he
time.
he always complains about Trey Cook, so
Yeah,
need to
his
show this
quarterback.
to him.
His quarterback doesn't suck, and DeCosta is Portland, isn't he? So he's
Yes.
more
Yeah.
of a pocket passer type. He hasn't scrambled that much, but he's
He's
got
like
he
like
also has high
37 years
volume.
old.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Bergman's got 30 scrambles. This guy's got 20 scrambles. They're not terribly far apart.
No, and Bergman scrambling has always been the thing I have found the most difficult to deal with him.
What about
Yeah.
interceptions and pick sixes? How are those factored in?
Yeah, so they're negative expected points plays in general. I think in theory is you can throw an interception which is not a negative EPA play. So let's say you were on your own 30-yard line and you threw the ball 50 yards down the field and got intercepted. That would probably not be a negative play. It's more like a punt, right? But in general, interceptions just count as negative EPA. But they're for most, I mean, for all of these QBs, they're not throwing enough interceptions to significantly impact their expected points negatively by interceptions. But they're factored in.
Well, I know that's the knock on my QB. That's why I
What
benched this past week.
did you say, Joe?
I was going to say the interceptions and pick sixes are the knock on my QB. That's why I benched him this week.
Oh, you
Benched him.
Okay.
He was probable, but that was my excuse.
How
Okay.
did the other guy do? Whoever you brought
He went 21 for 30 for 365 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick six.
So maybe it's the plays.
Perhaps.
Right up until the last bit of that statement, it all sounded good, didn't it?
Yeah.
I know I did a deep dive before when I had a quarterback who I was not expecting to throw as many picks as he did in Zellerkraut. And I just went through and I looked through and tallied up all the plays that resulted in interceptions and found that, yes, there were certain plays that seemed to result more in interceptions. So I took them out of the game plan the next season. Lo and behold, he threw a lot less interceptions. So there's something to that of where there are certain plays that I think just with how the quarterback goes through the progressions or whatever, they have a higher chance of resulting in an interception. It's not always like deep passes. It could be screens or slants or something like that.
Yeah, so my impression is the screens are, when they get intercepted, it's very dangerous.
Yes.
Like they seem to go for pick six more often than any other play. That's my non-scientific opinion on when screen passes get intercepted. It's much more dangerous than throwing a fade and it gets intercepted, for example. Although a fade will probably get picked more often.
Yeah.
I feel like if you throw it deep, they catch it back at their own 20, and then you get the message, there's no one in front of him.
That's when you panic.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's how I always think about screens. I'm really paranoid about throwing a screen close to my own goal line, I would say. So
I used to do it, and then I need to not do it anymore. I think I've thrown. I know I've at least thrown one pick six off of it this year.
You know that bit of the game plan where
that's probably a legacy play from when I had Carnation on my roster.
Yeah, so, that bit of the offensive game plan where you're in your own if less than 5 yards out from your own goal line, I never throw a screen there. I used to, because I used to see a screen as basically just like a passing kind of version of a
A
run
safe,
play.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if
Um,
it gets picked, it's all over basically.
Like I said, it was a calculated risk on my part when I had Carnation, because he could take that screenplay and turn it into a 30-yard gain like nothing. That's why he's leader all time in yards after
Right.
catch. But at this point, I don't have any receivers who can do that consistently.
But
So should
the other
probably
thing
take
with
that play out.
the other thing with a screen is that it is usually a negative yardage play to start with, right? So that brings a
Yep.
safety in as well, basically. If you throw it behind your own goal line and then the guy just gets screened by a linebacker or a cornerback or whatever.
Strangely enough, so I had a pick six and then I had a safety as well off of it. And the safety, like I was at my 4. It went for -5 yards. It's like, come on, that shouldn't happen on a screen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know
Like
what?
not if you're throwing a bubble screen out to a wide receiver. I could see it maybe with a running back, but not
This
to a wide receiver.
Yeah, but this happened in the AFC Championship game in the real NFL last season when Denver played New England in that snowstorm, and they had their backup QB playing, and I think New England's touchdown was okay, it wasn't an interception touchdown, but basically it was a short field situation that was caused by Denver's QB basically threw the ball ridiculously far backwards when he was under pressure from the pass rush.
Well, I mean, if we're talking real life plays, could we add in the play that the Seahawks had where he threw a screen pass, doinked off of a helmet, or got batted by a player, and then ended up going for a 2-point conversion or like a touchdown or whatever it was?
Yeah. So
let's include that too in the sim.
Anything can happen, right? So yeah, I mean, I mean, if you really spend a lot of time going through the logs, you will find some real head scratching moments. I'm pretty sure last season
kickers returning kickoffs. I believe we've seen that before.
Well, in the bowl last year, when I played Murfreesboro, they kicked off. Their quarterback returned the kick and fumbled it close to Calgary's goal line. And Murfreesboro was 7-0 up with like 12 seconds played or something insane like that. Yeah, just due to a complete bug in the game engine. I also had my tight end caught a post route for a negative yards. So yeah, there are occasional weird things, but
I also don't get the negative slant routes.
No.
I call a lot of slants. I've seen those. I don't understand it one bit. It's like that. It's the opposite of what a slant route does. The whole point of the route is that it's a quick couple of yards.
You start on the line of scrimmage and move forward for 4 steps or whatever. Yeah. No. Guys, anything else? Anything else you're curious about here, or yeah? Should we start thinking about wrapping things up?
Are we going to do the inverse of the top EPA and note the people who are sucking the most? Valuable information.
I don't think we have it calculated at the moment. Do we?
No, I don't. I don't know if he does.
It actually wouldn't take me very long to generate this from the terminal. What do you want to know?
I'm just saying. Let's take a look at the inverse of what we got so far.
So worst quarterbacks?
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have time, but I was also thinking we could do, it's mid-season, we could do some predictions for how the season ends.
Okay.
We sort of talked about who makes the playoffs, maybe talk about who gets through them.
Okay, so let me just perhaps bring up the game again.
We got 2.5 minutes before it's your turn here.
Okay, let's just do that. Let's just do that. Let's just do some quick hot takes and then we'll perhaps park it there. Who's going to win the bowl, guys?
I'm gonna say road. Mr. EPA.
I am gonna go with Portland.
Oh,
I'll
now
go
that
I
one.
believe it's Jay Moore.
Oh, I like that one, Joe. Defending champions. Yeah, yeah. It is quite far out, and it gets. I mean, Vancouver hasn't won the bowl for quite a while, right?
They are
And
due.
they've been in the playoffs a lot, so random number generator would suggest.
We don't have the defense.
You probably do. I'm gonna post up in Discord who the worst quarterbacks are, so we don't shame anybody too hard. I'll do that in a minute for you too, Tom.
Hey, I'm expecting my guy to be very high on the list.
I'm gonna take I don't think it's quite Lannister's time yet. I think Iowa's got a little bit more to do before they get their bowl. Well, we've all worried about whether they're gonna make the playoffs at all. I'm gonna go Vegas.
Okay.
So we got Vegas, Calgary, Portland, West Virginia. Yeah, there's a pretty good chance it's one of those. Murfreesboro treated like a dog there, seeing as they make the bowl quite regularly.
For me, it was between Portland and Murfreesboro, and I wanted to go with somebody we haven't seen in the bowl for a while for my prediction.
Have Portland been to the bowl before? Have they won? They have won a bowl, haven't they?
Yeah.
There's not many teams who haven't.
I'm almost positive they've won a bowl. They've been in it at least.
Yeah. Gentlemen, we're probably going to get cut off in a second. I just want to say thanks a lot for spending the time this evening or this afternoon to